Joining us in a first on CNBC interview, Vivid Seats CEO Stan Chia and Horizon Acquisition Corp CEO Todd Boehly. Very good afternoon to you both, and congrats on the deal. Stan, I'll start with you, if I may, in terms of your outlook for how quickly live events are going to bounce back. And in fact, if we're already seeing a little glimpse of that already.
Yeah. Hi, Wilfred. Hi. And thank you for having us on today. Really excited to tell you the story of Vivid Seats and the partnership with Horizon. I think as we look out, I think there's certainly very encouraging signs. I think the one I'd point to in terms of recovery are where we see, baseball as the season starts. Every stadium has had, fans with at a different capacity level. We're seeing the states slowly start to open up, I think, and certainly we expect venues to follow suit.
Todd, talk us through the process of getting to this point and whether it's gotten tougher, whether you didn't think you'd get to this stage, given that SPACs have cooled off so much in just a matter of weeks.
Well, I think really the SPAC lash that we're seeing is more unrelated to the specific company that one can acquire within a SPAC. I think ultimately a SPAC is just a chassis that has equity capital in it, and ultimately the goal is to find a really good company and then take that company public. And ultimately the fact is, in 2 years' time, no one will remember whether it was a SPAC or not. We're really excited about Vivid. We think that what they really showed during the downturn was the ability to reduce their overhead, and then at low levels of volumes, they've been able to generate cash. So we think it's a great machine that ultimately is extremely well positioned for the recovery. Whether that actually comes in 2022 or 2023, I think our capital structure is so patient, given that we really have no leverage on the balance sheet.
Stan, I saw the Bad Bunny sold out. He sold out the world tour so quickly. I think tickets are going for $2,400 on the resale market. Beyond that, what's your sense of the underlying pent-up demand for some of these events? And do you think once they open, people will come? Yeah,
I think we're certainly optimistic and that I think live events will come back and come back safely. I got my mask here. I'd say we've all got to do our part to getting there. I think Bad Bunny, tremendous last week, selling out as quick as he did. I think as we think about, indicators that there's tons of pent-up demand, what we continue to see as a leading marketplace that really is an index for how much demand is outpacing supply. I think what we see is that, average order sizes continue to go up, right? I think a strong reinforcement that there really is a lot of demand. And as soon as it's safe to do so, I think you're going to see a lot of people want to go to live events.
Stan, talk us through the business model. We often talk about interest rates being important for bank stocks. Are they relevant as well to you in terms of having often a lot of cash on hand, but between the period when people buy the tickets and the live event taking place?
Yeah, I think, we have a pretty favorable working capital dynamic in our business. But at the same time, I'd say we have two customers as we think about our marketplace. We've got our buy side and we've got our sell side. And I think as we look at how we treat our sell side, and certainly what we've done in the pandemic, I think we've been really conscious and really fair with the sell side terms in terms of how we've injected liquidity into that ecosystem as well.
Todd, I have an unrelated question for you about the Dodgers, because we don't get to talk to you very much. And I was just wondering, with all the hubbub around the All-Star game and pulling out of Atlanta, if as an owner you supported that move over the controversial voting law.
I think the Dodgers have been advocates for voters' rights, from the very beginning. And I think the Dodgers continue to, show themselves. Obviously, we had the largest testing center in the world, the largest vaccination center. We've absolutely been supportive of the commissioner. And we do believe that those types of things matter.
Todd, also just wanted to ask if you had a view on the European Super League and its collapse this past week. You were linked with a bid to buy Chelsea FC a few years back. I don't know if you can confirm or deny that attempt. But either way, just wondered if you had a view on the announcement and then very swift collapse of it. And if a Premier League club, because of fan protest or whatever else, becomes available in the next few weeks, are you interested?
Listen, I think we're absolutely always interested in really quality assets. And, frankly, I think what was illustrated in the collapse of the Super League was the fact that, this is all about the fans. Whether you're thinking about Vivid Seats and all the fans that we're trying to service, or you're thinking about the Dodgers, it's, basically the fan is in the middle of all these business models. And if you forget that, then you forgot really why you set out in the first place.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.